Taiwan. Described by Portuguese sailors as Ilha Formosa or Beautiful Island, it attracts many cultures with its profound beauty. Through the centuries, Taiwan continues to reinvent itself, and today has found new renown as one of Asia's economic tigers. Its technology industry boom in the 1990s bloomed into a phenomenon called the Taiwan Miracle. At the center of this growth are its cities, beginning with its capital, Taipei. Compact, compressed, and one of the densest places in the world. Although Taiwanese look to their cities to move forward, they do take the time to retreat to the comforts of the country. Gain a fresh view of Taiwan as it evolves and reinvents itself from the old to the new and back again. Along the edge of the Asiatic continental shelf, Taiwan's unique geography is marked by inland mountain chains and coastal stone cliffs. Its endless tunnels cut through the rock-faced mountains, opening speedways to new adventures. Some take the bus, others go by train. But for those wanting to see it all on a slower pace, they take an alternate route on two wheels. Taiwan has a strong bicycling culture, perhaps not much different from mainland China, so much so that they have coursed many tourist routes by bike. Bicycle and scooter rentals are cheap, and if you're lucky, possibly free, and you can get one almost anywhere. Begin at the east of Taipei. At the entrance of the northeast Ilan Coast Scenic Area, perhaps the most valued geological site in Taiwan. In Nanya, you'll find not towering skyscrapers, but rising mountain peaks, endless expanse of ocean, and the magic rock formations. Through erosion caused by wind and crashing waves, odd formations are set in stone. The favorite of many is the ice cream-shaped rock. Spiraling like a sundae, it is the focal point of this coastal tour. Families come in droves, so the best time to go is early morning when the sun has just peeked through. Head south of Taipei to Fulong in Gongliao Township and breathe in the swells of the sea. Although many come to Fulong for the beach, head first to the Old Cowling Railway Tunnel, once the longest tunnel in Taiwan, spanning more than 2 kilometers. In total, the course is about an 8-kilometer ride on a well-paved path. Music and the sound of trains fill the tunnel and will accompany you through. As part of the Northeast Coast National Scenic Area, Fulong is really one of its main attractions. The beach's golden sand and rolling waves are what draws thousands to come each year. An oddly positioned lopsided bridge crosses over the Zhuangzi River, comfortably connecting the inland to the beachfront, where a host of sporting activities can be enjoyed. From snorkeling to windsurfing, from biking to hang gliding, there's really much to do. But off-season, there is another option. To learn more about Fulong, visit the Fulong Visitor Center, a 2-story museum that acquaints you with Fulong Beach and the Northeast Scenic Route. Want to try your hand at some sea sports before doing any actual stuff? The Recreation Center features a hands-on gallery where you can simulate the experience. At the end of the hall, scan through the driftwood miracle sculptures made by the proud artisans of Taiwan. These handmade wooden pieces introduce the daily life and beliefs of the Taiwanese. A perfect appetizer for what is to come. Gongliao Township is famous for its seafood. Facing the Pacific, It comes as no surprise that you can get some of the best catch right by its shores. And there's even a view to boot. Enter one of its many seafood restaurants and have your pick of fish and crustaceans, cooked the best way Taiwan can serve. Further south is Yilan country, where the culture and the coast collide. Yilan, the site of Taiwan's national scenic area for traditional arts, draws a steady following each year. Opened in 2004, the NCTA is a treasure trove of tradition. The red brick streets and buildings were modeled after the 20th century Taiwanese houses. A huge estate of about 24 hectares, its elegant gardens, riverside views, and folk boulevards create a timeless atmosphere. Pick what curious things you can enjoy from the old country and marvel at how the processes are still continued today. A favorite here are the sweet shops, where an assortment of skewered caramel fruits is in store for you. But among them, it is the meter-long candy that is a must-try. If you've ever heard of how Asia's hand-pulled noodles is made, the same skill is applied in hand-pulled candy. Long strands of taffy are stretched 3 meters long before being folded up, allowed to harden, and served. It makes for a tasty show enjoyed by everyone. A small section of the NCTA is also dedicated to calligraphy. Through the basic tools of brush, ink, and stone, it is said that the relationship between man and instrument is formed. A host of brushes in all sizes are made and kept here, as well as selected works on calligraphy and watercolor painting. Crystal dreams. The earliest evidences of glass made in China was in 1094 BC. Though not as popular as ceramics or metalwork, over time they've come into their own. Each piece is carefully crafted by hand. The result is an elegant creation by a master craftsman, the making of which has become the main event in this store. Though much simpler than glass, those sculptures that once adorned great banquets are now made here. In the past, these were made with flour and artificial coloring. Today, they are made with much more sustainable materials, such as clay and resin. Using simple tools, the craftsman is able to shape and recreate favorite characters to bring home. The Taiwanese say that art and culture is divided into two: the products of design and the traditions passed on through performance. And at the NCTA, they provide a look into one of them: the puppet and the puppet master. It is from Taiwan, where the world can experience one of the most appreciated puppet theaters. This form of puppetry began in mainland China and eventually made its way here. These were often seen near temples and would entertain passers-by. Here, both puppet and puppet master are part of the show. They portray stories of heroism and daily life found in traditional Taiwanese literature. At the NCTA, a crowd gathers to enjoy the comedy of the puppet theater. A couple of puppets weave back and forth amid the cacophony of cascading monologue, flashing cymbals, twanging lutes, and screeching reed instruments. So it is that whether on a string or in hand, there truly is a simple magic that takes hold over those who watch and wield them. So dedicated is the NCTA to the preservation of what they believe as an endangered cultural heritage that they've decided to preserve even precious historic dwellings by relocating them inside the estate. It was a monumental task of recreating the Scholar Huang residence. Built in 1877, it is a courtyard-style building. After decades of deterioration, it has now been restored and made part of a walking tour. As you stroll through, learn fun facts about the house, like how each part comes in odd numbers. In line with Chinese beliefs, Odd numbers mean good luck, while even numbers are meant for the dead. As you leave the NCTA, you become aware of the wealth of culture found in this living repository of traditional art, enjoyed by many in search of Taiwanese classic culture. After a hard day's journey, stay at the many hotels in Taipei and Yilan Country, like the Hotel Royal Chelsea Spa. With 198 spacious rooms and a view of the mountains and plains, it is the place for a complete pampering outside the city. In pursuit of Taiwan's great outdoors, we head to the Sun Moon Lake. Found almost literally at the heart of Taiwan, it is called as such, as it resembles the sun and moon joined at the hip. With a little creativity, you'll see what they mean. Nearest to the Nantao country, it provides one of the most serene experiences in Taiwan. The largest body of water in the country, Sun Moon Lake, is about 827 hectares and has a depth of about 30 meters. At the center of this lake is Lalu Island. A red cedar tree from a distance seems floating along the surface of the water, surrounded by a ring of floating piers. Coming by many names such as Pearl Hill, the Jade Island, and Guanghua or Retrocession Island, to the Itatao, the indigenous people of the Sun Moon Lake, it is simply a sacred place. With growing appreciation for cultural worth of the indigenous people of Taiwan, an Aboriginal village was built in honor of their traditions within the Aladdin Pavilion theme park in Nantao. As you approach the Formosan Aboriginal Square, the music of the theater fills the streets. By the theater is a house made of stone that shows the native houses of the Aborigines. Outside, a grim display of skulls on racks provide an insight into native warrior culture. Inside is the Kapiagan, a Pawian wedding, where sculptures tell the story of native life. Celebrations happen at the square. Costume dancers create the festive atmosphere and provide a peek into some of the local dances that were believed to have almost been lost. Bringing the old and the new is the Sun Moon Ropeway that offers an unmatched view of the lake and its surrounding mountains. Opened in 2010, the cable car system took almost a decade to build and transects the mountain range. Ride in one of the 86 cable cars and soak in the sights of this 1.8-kilometer ropeway. Try not to miss the zigzagging stairway up the mountains just right beneath you. The ropeway is really the best way to view their journey through Sun Moon Lake. Upon arriving, relax at a cafe or eat at the nearest town, where a host of delights await. The Lalu Hotel is unquestionably the best hotel to stay in when in Sun Moon Lake. A 5-star hotel, the only one of its kind in Taiwan, its stunning architecture is matched only by the beauty that surrounds it. Built on a hill right by the lake, it has access to the lake like no other place has. It offers 96 suites fitted with its very own fireplace. A wealthy collection of literature in their library, a heated infinity pool, and a spa built for a king. Pick from its restaurants offering gourmet delights or simply retreat to your room with a view. The Lalu Hotel stands in line with the serenity that surrounds it and does not fail to deliver, offering its guests a quiet and rejuvenating stay. As a new day begins and the towns are just about to wake, there is a silence in the mountains. In a place of such serenity, one cannot help but notice the spirituality of Taiwanese culture. Currently in Taiwan, there are 4.9 billion Buddhists alone. Temples dedicated to different deities abound. Originally built in 1938, this temple is composed of 2 other temples that were relocated here. The steps toward the Wenwu Temple are exactly 366 steps, covering 150 meters. It symbolizes the 366 days of the year, earning the name the Year of Steps. At each landing, guests can stop and rest while reading about Taiwan's traditional folk culture. Wenwu Temple on the northeastern shore of Sun Moon Lake is used by Confucian and Taoist deities. Although many of those who visit may not prescribe to these beliefs, the details in its architecture can undoubtedly be appreciated by anyone. In the stillness of prayer, perhaps one can experience a place like Sun Moon Lake, a tranquil sanctuary creating a stillness before your return. Up next, we head back to the capital for a final run-through of Taipei's landmarks as our travel comes back in full circle. Knowing more about what inspires the Taiwanese gives a better understanding of how to appreciate what Taiwan is today. The Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Park is a colossal structure. It is a refreshing sight as the park is a spot of green along a broad concrete jungle. It is second only to the Taipei 101 as an important landmark in all of Taiwan. Wanting to gain a better understanding about Taiwan's most revered patronage, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Park is the place to be. Much attention was placed into its construction as 4 towering structures compose this park. At the center of this memorial hall, the octagonal roof rises 70 meters above the ground and is covered with blue glazed tiles. Within its sweeping gallery, paintings and memorabilia give an insight into the life of Chiang Kai-shek. All throughout are images of the former president, from his work hall to the statues and busts displayed all around. People can walk by and learn a little bit more about Taiwan's history through this park. Surrounding the monument are other structures, such as the Liberty Square and the National Center and National Concert Hall. Anywhere you look, it's hard to miss the dizzying heights of Taipei 101. As the road comes to an end, you cannot leave without snapping away at this megastructure. A pagoda-shaped building of 101 floors and one of the tallest and most beautiful buildings in the world. Taipei 101 offers the most unhampered view of Taipei, and it manages to follow the principles of feng shui. Climb to the top in record speed and zoom inside the fastest elevator in the world, zipping through 55 feet per second. That's 89 floors in less than a minute. At the top, walk through the Treasure Sky, the highest jewelry boutique, where a collection of coral gemstones are kept. Each coral takes about 10 years to form a single centimeter. So it is a marvel to see the largest one in recorded history right here. Like a pearl among the corals, the largest tuned mass damper rests just across the hall. A structural marvel, the chamber that contains the wind dumper is made open for the public to view and admire the ingenuity of its design. But among all of these, it is the view of Taipei that really makes you feel you're on top of the world. So it is that Taiwan has 2 sides, where the great outdoors melds with the urban centers, where ancient skill and technology influence the future. It is the reinvention of Taiwan.